What's going on, guys? There's a little topic that I want to talk about, and that's what can kill a new trader's momentum, what can kill your energy, what can drain your mental equity, and what can be like the death of a new trader. Sometimes I sit back and I think when I first started trading, what was what was the biggest downfall that I had? And the time and time again, I keep coming back to FOMO, fear of missing out. I was always worried about missing out on the next big move. Or I would get into a stock and I would see that it was up 1, 2, 3 points over the level where I wanted to take the stock. And, I would get this anxiety where I felt that, I needed to trade and I would enter into the trade late. The stock would end up coming in on me and then I would end up losing money on the trade. And, the biggest thing that I try to stress now is if you get into a trade and it's working in your favor, move your stop loss to break even. And if that stock continues to run, maybe you want to move that stop loss up with the stock as it run. I know a couple of guys in my Discord like to use a trailing stop, which is good. But the whole idea of waking up in the morning before the bell, getting on social media, getting on Twitter, getting on YouTube, getting on StockTwits or Wall Street Bets or Reddit or wherever it is that you get your news. Okay, a lot of times new day traders or new traders in general will automatically jump to social media to see what everyone else is trading, and that can be a good and a bad thing. So, for example, if you've been trading 1, 2, 3, 4 years and you kind of feel like you got your legs under you, you kind of feel like you understand what you're doing, maybe you want to check the sentiment online of what people are trading, because of course, whatever it is that you're trading, you want volatility, you want it to be liquid, you want the stock to be able to move up and down. So of course, I'm not going to say to, go find a stock that no one is trading, but 9 times out of 10, those stocks that you're finding, let's say that are trending, let's say that, is the next big short squeeze, the next this, the next that, synthetic shares this, and, hedge funds covering that. When you get your mind so wrapped up in the fact that, you're going to miss out on that big trade, you end up being detrimental to your account. That's how people blow their accounts up. That's how people get stuck bag holding. It can be a slippery slope down a water hole that you can't crawl out of. So, the feeling of fear of missing out, you have to let that go. Okay. That whole mantra of, you have to be in this stock because it's moving, in that stock because, somebody said something, or this guy on Twitter said that this is the next stock to go. You have to take that mindset out. If you're looking for someone else to give you a trade, you've already lost. Not to say that you can't take someone's research or someone's technical analysis and use that to your advantage if you know the strategy that that person is using, and if you understand why it is that you're getting into a trade. A lot of times new traders will jump into a trade and then they're looking around, wondering what is the next step. Okay, so now I'm in this trade, but what do I do next? I'm in this trade at $15 and now the stock is $13. What next? So many times I see so many people enter into a trade. The trade comes in 50 cents, comes in $1. Now they're negative on that position and immediately they want to sell. Immediately They're looking for social media for the answer. Should I hold on to this stock? Am I going to be a bag holder? When do I cut this? When do I cut this stock? And the whole answer behind that is you didn't know what you were doing before you did it. You had no plan, you had no strategy, you had no idea as to why you're getting in this stock other than the fear of missing out, that everyone else is trading this one particular stock. Everyone else is making money off this one particular stock. So now you want to follow that wave and jump on that, jump on that bandwagon. And now you're stuck holding a bag and have no idea where to exit. That's the fastest way to blow up your account. You really need to learn a strategy. You really need to learn how to enter and exit a stock. You really need to know chart patterns. You need to know that there's going to be some kind of major news catalyst. And I'm not talking about what's going on social media where there's more shares being shorted than are available on the market. I don't care about that, because at the end of the day, you don't know if that's 100% accurate. You don't know that when these hedge funds or institutions have to cover, okay? And you don't know if they ever will. If they're shorting synthetic shares, means that no interest is being paid, means that nobody has to buy those shares, means that you could be sitting here holding this bag, watching the stock fluctuate between $5 and $10 for months, for years, for days, and now you have no exit plan. You really need to have a strategy. You really need to understand chart patterns. You really need to understand that, hey, this company has earnings. We are expected this on this quarter. This is what we did last quarter versus year over year versus, what we did XYZ. You need to have an edge and entering into stocks and plays because a million people are talking about it on social media is not an edge. Okay. Because if you get into that play and you have no idea where to exit, you have no edge. So the whole moral of this story, the whole, idea behind this video is that if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a game plan, if you don't understand price action, for one thing, you shouldn't be trading. And two, you have to get over the fear of missing out. And how you get over the fear of missing out is by learning a strategy, learning price action, actually sitting behind the screen, getting screen time in a raging bull market, getting screen time in a distribution market, getting screen time in a bear market, getting screen time in a choppy market. Okay. If you haven't traded in all these different environments and all you know is to the moon and all you know is this is going to squeeze and all you know is what you see on Twitter and StockTwits and YouTube and, wherever you get your sources from, Reddit, wherever it may be. If that's all you know, you're going to have no idea how to handle a trade when it goes against you. And you're going to let emotions get the best of you, which is going to cause you to sell when you're at a loss, when maybe you should have held because there's support underneath you, or it's going to cause you to sell too early, missing out on the bigger run. So if you learn a strategy, if you learn price action and you get that screen time where you're putting in the work, maybe you're going over 20, 30, 40, 50 charts at night. Maybe you're getting up and maybe you're trading 1 share a day, 10 shares a day, 5 shares a day, working consistently on a strategy that works for you and your personality. And you start to say that, this is what works for you. This is what that doesn't work for you. And you actually start getting that screen time. I think that you shouldn't look to social media for the next big thing. Because if you have to look for social media for the next big thing, you will always be a sheep that is being led by a flock of other sheep. Sheep leading sheep doesn't equal to anything great. Now, that's not to take anything away. People who have made money off of these short squeezes, people who have made, great money. I myself has been a part of the GameStop squeeze. I've been a part of the AMC squeeze. I was a part of the Wish squeeze. There's other plays out there that have had their runs. SKLZ Skills has made a run, and I played that into the high 30s. I also have played Clove when it ran. So that's not to take anything away from these plays, but I also understand that these plays can be short-lived and they can fluctuate in price action. And I also know that as a trader, I don't want to sit there and have my capital tied up for 1, 2, 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3 months, when I can use that running liquid capital to be playing stocks that, are moving on a consistent basis, while on the back burner, keeping other stocks that I know have potential to A, squeeze, or A, see all-time, or B, see all-time highs again. But I also know the levels that they need to break or they need to find support at before they're even worth buying. So the whole idea of, you're going to miss out on a trade, you're never going to miss out on a trade. The stock market is open 5 days a week minus holidays. There is a gajillion stocks in the stock market that you can trade, some with big average true daily ranges, Amazons of the world, the Teslas of the world, the Rokus of the world, the Nvidias, to smaller plays that you can swing trade, seasonality stocks, you can trade financials, you can trade transports, you can trade crude, you can trade silver, gold, stock, equities, options, whatever your heart desires, Forex, cryptocurrency, whatever it is, you have to make sure that you understand your edge and what your strategy is. And just put the whole idea of what is this person trading? What person should I be following, listening to? Just be careful of who you're listening to. Just be careful of what you're trading and just understand the reasons. If you're following, a proper strategy, in that everyone's strategy can be different. Some people buy breakouts, some people buy the dip, some people are swing traders where they're going to hold, some people are pure scalpers off of momentum. Just depending on what your strategy is based off your personality. Once you start to identify that, you don't need to find anybody or feel that you're missing out on XYZ stock because it ran and you feel like you missed out. If you understand a proper strategy and you understand how to find charts before they break out, then you can understand, how to trade on a day-to-day basis without having to, feel like you're missing out on anything. I hope that makes sense, guys. I do have a Discord, got a great community of traders in there. Everybody's learning from each other. I try to help out as much as I can on the plays that I am playing for that day. I also have a website showing you guys kind of like my strategy in what I use and kind of my philosophy. That'll also be down in the description below. But if you guys watched to the end of this video, I would appreciate it if you guys would like, subscribe, comment, let me know your thoughts. Let me know, do you have a problem with, FOMO? Does it get the best of you? Have you been burned by, following people on social media versus rolling with your own ideas and your own strategies? And, where do you get stocks, like your ideas that for the day? If checking social media to see what everyone is trading is the number one thing you do when you wake up, you need to go and reevaluate your trading strategy. You want to be in the trade before everyone on social media is talking about it, not chasing as everyone on social media is selling. I hope that helps, guys. I will see you guys all on the next video.